beans and rice, two of my favorite things combined in one dish. In fact, I love Popeye's red beans and rice. Do any of you guys love that? Because I love that. But today I'm going to show you how to make Instant Pot beans and rice. And yes, I am using red beans. And there are a couple of tricks that you're going to need to know in order to cook them together and have them be the most delicious and tender beans and rice you've ever had. Welcome to the Spicy Apron Cooking Show. My name is Heather and I am here to show you the easiest ways to get the best results in your kitchen. And yes, very, very often that means using my Instant Pot. I am the author of 2 authorized Instant Pot cookbooks. I will put the links to those below, but let's get to this red beans and rice in your Instant Pot. It's really easy, but really the steps in the order are very, very important for this particular dish. I do have a link to the full recipe below. Now, first you're gonna start with 1 cup of red beans, and these are just the small red beans. Because we're doing this together with rice, it is important to use the right size and the right proportion. So red beans, they've been rinsed. Just dump them in your pot. Then I like to kick it up a little bit with some minced onion. Now I do mince it instead of dice it because I want those onion pieces very small. Again, keeping everything in the right proportion. So this is just an onion that I have minced up. Now, next let's put in our seasonings. It's just some garlic powder and some salt. You could also use fresh garlic, just mince that up as well. And then I like to add just about a 1/4 teaspoon of liquid smoke. Now, a lot of people don't like liquid smoke, so you can certainly omit that if you want. I like the smoky flavor. Better yet, throw in a big old ham hock and that would be even better. So next, let's add the liquid. Now it takes 6 cups of liquid. What I do is 4 cups of chicken broth. You could use vegetable broth if you want. You could also use water, but the broth does add quite a bit of flavor. Like I said, it needs 6 cups. I do 4 cups of broth, honestly, because that's how much comes in one of those boxes. But if you want to make your own, check out my video here of how to make Instant Pot chicken broth from scratch. It's really delicious. And then I just do the other 2 cups of water. Like I said, you could do all water or all broth. You could do beef broth. That would be good too. All right, once you have those ingredients in, go ahead and give it a stir to mix everything up. Next up is a can of fire roasted tomatoes. It's just a 15-ounce can with the juices. You can go ahead and throw that in there as well. And this is the step that's super important to do it right. The rice. A couple of things about the rice. Number 1, you want to add it last and you do not want to stir it in. You do not want it sinking to the bottom. That's the most important thing, because if the rice gets stuck to the bottom of this inner pot, then you could get that dreaded burn notification. Nobody wants that. It does happen to all of us though. But the easiest way to avoid that is to use, put the rice in last, kind of layer it on top and do not mix it in. Now the next tip about the rice, this needs to be brown rice. And the reason that's the case is because it's cooking at the same time as dried beans. Obviously I did not soak those beans. I probably should have said that earlier. So the beans are just dried. I did not soak them. So we're trying to get the timing right. Brown rice takes longer to cook than white rice. Beans from dry do take longer to cook. So we are going to use both of those together. And it's also really delicious with brown rice. Now, the last thing about the rice is make sure you rinse it well. One of the problems with cooking rice in a pressure cooker is it can tend to get sticky. The reason that is because there's a lot of starch on the outside of the rice. So make sure you absolutely rinse it really, really well. So this is a 1.5 cups of brown rice. And yes, some of it will sink, but the goal is to have it lay on top or close to the top and not go down to the bottom. But don't freak out if it starts to sink. It's going to sink. You just want to kind of spread it out a little. Okay, now that your rice is in, all we're gonna do is pressure cook it. Again, resist the urge to stir after you've put your rice in. Put that spoon away. All right, pressure cook it on high for 28 minutes and then let it naturally release for about 10 to 15 minutes. I'm gonna do that right now. And then we're gonna check it out. And that's it, guys. It's really easy, but wait till you see how good it looks at the end. Okay, it is so amazing to me that You can take beans from dry to done in less than an hour, and it's even more amazing. You can combine it with rice and it's all done together. It's fantastic. All right, so these have pressure cooked for 28 minutes, and then I let it naturally release for about 10 to 15 minutes. And here they are. So a couple of things to note. If you look right now and stir it up, it might look just a little bit runny to you for what you would consider ideal rice and beans are. But, and this is important, this really does thicken, and it thickens very quickly. Now, the fastest way to get it to thicken is to just stir it, because that releases more of the starch from the rice, and you just want it to all get mixed up with that starchiness, and then it thickens it up. The other way you can thicken it up if you want is to turn it on saute. It'll speed up that process a little bit, but be careful. You don't want it too thick so it's just gloppy and sticking to everything. So I would say give yourself a good 5 to 10 minutes after it's done cooking, just to let it sit, stir it every once in a while, and it will get to the exact consistency that you want. Do not over thicken it. Okay, so here we have the beans and rice. And again, I promise you, it really does thicken up when it sits here a little bit. But I want to show you now, if you look, it is the perfect mixture of beans to rice ratio. We did not get the burn notification, which is why we need to have a little bit of extra water in there as it's cooking. So that's why you do that. But then it thickens right up, and it looks exactly like the beans and rice you all know and love. And I can just smell that smokiness that came from the liquid smoke. It really does make quite a difference. Let me taste it. It's perfect. Now, first, I want to ask you guys, what do you serve with your beans and rice? Because you guys are always giving me the best suggestions ever. So please keep them coming. Put it in the comments below. What do you like to serve? I'm thinking fried chicken is pretty good with it. That is what I would typically serve with these red beans and rice. Oh, and kind of as an aside, those of you who follow me know that unfortunately I had this nasty malignant melanoma that decided to eat away at my face, and I had to get it removed and have my face rebuilt. It was quite the process. They had to take away a third of my nose, and my amazing, wonderful plastic surgeon actually rebuilt my face. I have had 6 surgeries to get it to this point. I did just learn I need one more. It's kind of small compared to the rest of them, but my plastic surgeon is a perfectionist, but isn't that kind of what you want in a plastic surgeon? So I tell you this because in case I miss a few videos, it's because I'm one more time going under the knife, one more time I have to heal up, and then I'm done. And the good news is they got all of the cancer, so I should be good to go from there on out. So thank you for your patience. I'm trying to get ahead on videos so there is no lag, but I might miss a week or two. So wish me luck. And I will see you when I get back. So thank you so much for watching the Spicy Apron Cooking Show. Happy cooking and happy eating.